Okay, just tell me when to hit play.
All right.
Arjun here? I didn't see him in the list.
Didn't see Arjun.
Not yet.
Whenever you're ready.
We live?
Hit it.
Good evening and welcome to the After Hours show with the Autonomous Collective. My name's Joan Norway. I'll be your cook this evening. I'm joined by Ann Lee, a retired college professor and a community member at the Daily Coast. They're a member of the National Council of Independent Scholars and is a contributor to the book, The Political Economy of Art, Making the Nation of Culture. And we are indeed joined by Arjun from the Deep into History podcast to provide some historical perspective. Welcome, everybody. This is season 4, episode 1. I guess that's the way we're doing it.
I guess so.
And John's starting off with this season with a whole new program. We'll talk about that later on.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Total mess over here. So
No worries. No worries.
Looks okay.
How's my mise en place? Well,
Joe,
John,
your
yes?
mise en place is beautiful.
We got a few wild things here. John, we're sticking to the weeds. We're going to be in the weeds, I think, for several weeks, maybe some months until the mushrooms kick in. Anyways, I thought I might make a stir fry with some wild stuff we've got around the house and some imported things we've come across in our travels. Thought I'd do a little more Indonesian style stir fry. We've got our main, well, I guess it's a co-host here, the tauco. It's a fermented soybean paste. It's similar to, it was actually brought to Indonesia by the Chinese. Well, they brought dojian, which is fermented fava beans. And it was modified for the tropical environment. Basically, it's a similar production for when you inoculate the cooked soybeans with the same spores, koji, that you make tempeh with. So the first steps to making tauco or tempeh are quite similar. They create this bean cake from the mycelium. Once the bean cake is formed, then you basically have your tempeh, or you can keep fermenting it until it almost goes off and break it apart and submerge it in a salty brine that will evolve. You put it in a clay pot with exposure to airflow. So it's different from miso, where it's isolated and not touching outside air. So it's left out in the fields for a few weeks, several months, half a year, maybe a year, and it develops this kind of snotty. I wouldn't say slurry, but it's a funky taste, texture. It's quite salty, extremely salty, mildly sweet, and tangy. And you need to cook this. This is not something that you would put on at the end of your before you serve it at the table. So when you're sizzling your aromatics, which we'll get to, I've got kefir lime, ginger, lemongrass, uh, garlic. So you saute those in oil, and at the same time you put your tauco in the pan, and that way it cooks and it releases the flavor, and it gets all these, creates this umami bomb.
I love how dangerously you cook, Joe. Truly, like you are an artist. It's dope.
So moldy cakes broken in the brine, yeah, blah blah blah, intense funky. It's a very funky dish. So onto our main entrant here. This is fireweed, or geitrams, we call it in Norwegian. It's like the goat's ram. It can grow up to about 3 to 8 feet. It has
Wow.
pinkish purplish flowers. It's herbaceous perennial, and it gets its name fireweed because when you've cleared the forest or the forest is burnt, it's one of the first things that come back and take over. Basically, they colonize the whole. So they're great for after fires, and when you get them in the spring, the spring shoots anywhere. This is about as big as you want to get. If you strip off the leaves, you've got essentially a kind of asparagus type of vegetable. And if you can cook the leaves, they're a bit bitter. There's tannins, so it's a bit on the bitter side. Once they bloom, the leaves get very hard, so they're not the greatest to eat. It's used for all kinds of medicinal purposes. You make dried tea or poultices out of it. You get for guys, it's like a prostate tea, and it's also good for digestion and respiratory illnesses, so coughs and whatnot. So it helps you expectorate things.
That's fascinating. So, like you said, poultices. Like because I am deep in history. What kind of poultices would it be used for? Like, what would it be used to treat?
That's a good question. I'm not quite sure. I didn't get that far in my learning, but
Oh, no worries. No, I was just genuinely curious. I'll look it up.
I
Good
try
for a
not to cut.
hangover.
I try not to cut myself, so I haven't had to use it.
Yeah, Joe,
lately.
absolutely. You should have just said, "Yeah, it's for
Stick to
a
the
hangover."
food.
I would have bought it. I would have bought it, and I would have been completely satisfied.
Oh, in England, they call this rosebay willow herb. Excuse me. Sorry. It's the Latin is, let's see if I can pronounce this. Oh lordy. Chaminarium angusfolium.
Not bad.
And then our next one, which I've already cooked with and introduced you guys to, it's our goutweed, or I like to say, anti-gout weed, the ground elder. This one's another temperate invasive species that people use for decorative purposes, but realize later that it's a rhizome and just goes all over the place. But in the spring, this is excellent. You can just, we've been picking these shoots. These are the young shoots. These are great to eat raw in salads or to stir fry or to cook into stewed greens. You can cook these older ones, but they're tougher and they're not as pleasant. But our feature here, aside from the fireweed, were the sprouts. So we inadvertently created an environment where we could dig up some ground elder sprouts. So I thought we'd make stir fry with fireweed, ground elder sprouts, and the famous guest that has been on the show before, the rumpa squash, the butt squash, or chayote, kind of like somewhere between a potato, jicama, kohlrabi, and so I don't know. So it's a little squash. It's popular in Central America and South Asia, Southeast Asia. It's very popular in Indonesia for stir fries. It's a kind of daily thing. It's crisp, crunchy, keeps its shape and crunchiness. It's great for quick pickles, but we're going to julienne some of those. We're going to go harvest some of these and some of these. So you guys take your time getting to all the fantastic news we've been dealing with all week. And I shall commence to, let's see, getting our rice started. So we have our rice, which we'll throw in our kombu, add a little umami and
Nice.
smock to that.
So I have it on
And
authority from someone in chat, let's call him Larry, that that plant treats erectile dysfunction in a poultice form, cures your sore throat taint, and also cures asthma. So
there
thank
we
you
go.
for that,
Okay.
Larry.
Pretty
Much
versatile.
obliged. Indeed.
Versatile.
I'll show you out around the house where we've just got these things just growing wildly. We haven't been to the grocery store in a while. It's wild.
Okie dokie. Well,
Love
it's
it,
been a
Joe.
busy week. It's been a busy week. Apparently, Donald Trump has not signed the memorandum of understanding for the 60-day ceasefire. The thing has been sitting around for a while, actually. I think they actually had agreed on it several days ago.
It's almost been
But
sitting around for 60 days.
well, a couple of weeks anyway. The basic elements that were described a couple of weeks ago, that is 60 days of ceasefire with the blockade will end, the demining efforts will begin, the strait will not be constrained. There won't be any, sort of monkey business in terms of tolls. So, but there's a lot of details to it. They really haven't defined the shipping lanes, but it'll probably go back to what it used to be. That
But
is when it was, February 27th, that the sea lanes were adequately defined, and it's unclear that there's a lot of minefields. I think there's, well, the Iranian map, the generalized map of mines looks a little funkier than it is probably in reality. And I'm sure the American Navy has been running around trying to figure out where all the mines are.
Without
And
minesweepers, it's so awesome.
however, without minesweepers, well, this is an opportunity to learn how you don't need minesweepers, or that having a minesweeper doesn't necessarily give you an advantage. That is, originally, minesweepers were not made out of steel or metal, and
Right. That's
the
a very, very important point. Yeah, after World War II, there were hundreds of thousands of sea mines all around the world. And they used wooden boats to seek them out and shoot them with like machine guns, the ones that were
yeah,
floating at least. And the ones they couldn't find, they like that were beneath the waves, they used like the radar enabled minesweepers. And the ones that like because it was pretty rudimentary then, um the other mines were basically discovered when they blew up ships. And I think that's what's happening in the Strait of Hormuz right now. I don't think Iran heavily mined it. That would have been noticed, right?
yeah,
So I think they maybe dropped, you know, 5, 10, whatever, that they could as subtly as possible. And if my intuition is correct, they weren't secured mines. They were like sort of drifting mines
mm,
or mines that are like drifters are like they have like a very lightweight um with the rope that hangs that sustains them at the bottom, which allows them to sort of flow with the currents.
right,
So they're not necessarily in one place. However, where they're dropped, when they drop them in a very, very specific area so that Iran knows which current is flowing, right? Those
right.
are their waters. So it's kind of fascinating to see this play out like this. But also, Prof. N, I've
Welcome to
been
my
dying
food
to ask
stall.
you
We're
all
out here
week.
again.
Excellent. I'm always happy to see you there. And it's
Nice.
not raining, so what are you gonna do for water?
No, that's true. We got plenty of water.
You have to go back
And
inside now, don't you?
it's a bit cloud covered. Otherwise, it would have been much
Oh,
brighter. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't
Beautiful.
know if you can see the mountains. We'll be over
nice.
there soon enough. Yeah.
Yo, Joe, we man, like I just want to say, like we all appreciate you staying up so late on a Friday night for us.
No worries.
That's so cool. Yeah, Prof. Ed, but
Good man.
I really wanted to know your opinion on like, do you think any of this is real? Like the negotiations and all, given the fact, because like my train of thought is going in one direction, that this is like we are in like a griftopia. The
Oh,
Trump
yes,
administration is like they don't, there's lawless. There is no law. Like there's nothing.
right.
They are not terrified of anything. I think they truly believe that they can pardon themselves out of this before Trump leaves office. So from
Yes,
now till eternity, they can do whatever they want. And because the oil companies literally gave him $500 million for his campaign, right? And
right,
he got that money by telling them, I'll do whatever you want,
right.
right? Like this is documented. We all know this happened.
Oh, yeah.
Um, so he has no incentive. He doesn't like let's he doesn't care about the economy, the mid like he said today, like that, like I don't care about the midterms or yesterday, sorry. He might have
Yesterday.
said it again today, actually. But
Well, he repeated. He's just nuts. I mean, well, anyway. I mean, we can talk about how nuts he is, but yes, that's quite
but
true.
like
But
do you think like where do you lean? Do you think these negotiations are gonna mean anything? particularly
Well,
because of the fact that he and all of his people, his donors, all of them, they're profiting off this immensely, right?
this is
Be it
true. This is
be it
true.
the stock trading with insider trading going on, the poly market, the crypto bats, all that kind of stuff. They're all profiting ridiculously from this. Plus, his
Yes.
other main donor base is the Adelsons, like the Israel lobby, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
so for this deal to actually be real and not just be media blather that we've been hearing about and being dragged on about for the last month, um, my feeling is that like it isn't, because for it to be real, Trump would have to reign in Israel. And those, given the financial interests involved, they contradict each other. Like, what's your opinion?
Well, that's true. On the other hand, there's other shenanigans going on. There's a report that there's going to be some integration, whatever the hell that means, between the IDF and the US military. I mean, there is some integration already, but they're really being open about it. I don't know what that means, but that's a kind of front end report. The other thing is this uh, reporting, I think it's the Washington Post, that identifies a demand or this part of this deal has this investment trust thing that they're really into, and it ranges from 300 billion to $1 trillion. Now that's the range they mention in the reporting, and that just the fact that you have this wide range means that there's this scammable amount of money that is floating around and essentially a bribe, and that's what motivates the the willingness of the Iranians to kick the can down the road for 60 days. What Trump wants is nothing to interfere with his gala for his birthday and uh the 250th blah blah blah,
The
which is
Genius
losing.
man ever to be identified as like a quote unquote alpha male.
Oh
Like,
yes.
think about it. I need a ballroom. I need a big show. I need a birthday party. He had remember that crappy military parade he had to throw himself last year? Oh my God.
Oh,
Compared to like North Korea, America looked
oh Jesus.
like the most garbage military ever.
Well, I mean, it really shows where the military is, because the units that they brought in were resisting the kind of marching that Trump wanted. Trump wanted it to look like North Korea or PRC or the PRC or Russia, because they march in precision, whereas these guys were just ambling along. It was
Like
just
they weren't, yeah.
really wild to
That's why I
watch.
said North Korea. Like they are not worthy of like Chinese military parades, or like that was so bad. The
Oh, it's
people on the
terrible.
diet, the Trump himself fell asleep. The people
Yes.
the people, like every single, like all of them, like that crowd, Jabba's palace, his cabinet is around him,
Yes.
and and they were all just so bored out of their minds because it was like creaky tanks, like American soldiers walking like by, like like people like march at like a state fair, or like
Strolling.
like the parade, just strolling, hey, and like those supposed to be the military. It was so bad. And this year, I think he's trying. I think that's where like that insecurity comes in. That's why he's doing this UFC fight. And it's kind
Yes.
of
Uh,
funny to like watch Joe Rogan freak out about like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
worried about a terrorist attack.
i- is Rogan
But
going to host it or MC it or whatever he does with the
Yeah, he's
UFC?
no, I don't. Is
he's
he?
contractually obligated to. So he has
Oh
to.
God.
and he doesn't want to, and
Hilarious.
it's been so funny because like he's
There's
trying
a
to
lot of
be
whining about
like
the weather,
eloquent.
that
Mhm.
it's going to be too hot. There's going to be bugs. Uh, the structure itself is just weird. For a whole month, you're going to have this thing sitting, on the south lawn or,
Mhm.
whatever, before in front of the south lawn. And then you have this other hole where the east wing was, and whatever the hell they're trying
Yeah.
to build over there.
Yeah,
Are
I
they
don't
putting
know.
in are they
A
putting in a
bunker.
giant mud pit for the monster truck
Mud
jamboree?
Yeah.
I don't
Mu-
know why they're building the UFC stage so early. I have no freaking
Mhm.
idea. I mean, that's the kind of thing. That's like a touring set. I really don't get it.
Oh,
Unless
so yeah, I can tell you why. They're
usually
putting
those
up.
things
Oh,
go up in a
before you
few
guys go
Yeah,
on,
days for
before you guys go
tours.
on, I've got my prep done for the things we've got here, but we need to head out to the forest to go get our other goodies, and I believe we're going to need a pitchfork for this one.
Norwegian Gothic. Yeah.
and like folks, wolves are and bears are out. So Joe should actually
Moose.
be going with a shotgun.
Norwegian
Loads of
moose.
rhododendron.
Nice.
Maybe you can see some mountains out there.
I think James, you were talking about the advanced setup.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
Mhm.
I heard some things about that. It's a security thing. So they're doing that, that sort of the lighting, that vast sort
yeah.
of arch you see.
It's a rock and roll. It's the same rig that
Oh, is
company.
it? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
a
sweet.
company called
No.
Tate Towers. They're probably doing it. They do all those big rock tours.
Oh,
And
awesome. So yeah, I didn't know that. Okay. So what they're doing is that they're setting them up first, and then they're gonna set up this like security perimeter around it. They're only 4,000 tickets. And how it works is I think the Trump administration and gets 2,000. Trump gets 1,000 to give to his donors, obviously. And then
yep,
it's like 500 and 500. Dana White and some like whoever else owns the
all just grifting.
UFC or whatever. Yeah. So like the tickets, it's not publicly available. My
Of
feeling
course
is
not.
this. I believe are they showing it publicly or is this event pay-per-view? I think UFC is already tied into streaming, isn't it?
I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Well, like
I mean, it's pre-existing contract though is with ESPN, isn't it?
I haven't watched UFC
UFC
since.
does do stuff on ESPN. I mean, there must be a tie-in there.
Yeah, so like my theory is this that like if this event, and I think part of the reason Rogan, you know, is like sort of like, humbling himself and being like, I'm very scared to go there and this kind of stuff, to bring more eyes upon it. If this event is very successful, I think it will be the impetus for like an American Coliseum, to be honest with you.
Oh God,
A permanent UFC arena near the White House. I
bread.
think
They'll
that's
give
where
out
it's going.
bread.
Why not?
Bread will be given away.
Like, think about it. Like how corrupt this administration, just think about it.
Yeah,
Why not? On
Oh,
America's, on the Republic of America's
Mhm.
250th birthday, they're having a gladiator match on
They're
the White House lawn. So just
doing-
it
think
crossing the
about
it's
Rubicon.
it is. We're the Rubicon has been. My understanding is there was a
mm,
report that Dana White is losing $30 million on this little deal here. I mean, they're fronting. I have no idea where the money is coming from, but I think that it's a losing proposition
he can,
ultimately.
they can afford it. This is a
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean,
yeah. I
huge
deep
don't think. I
pockets.
mean, how do you define losing in this case?
Yeah, it's
Oh well,
winning,
yeah.
It's an
it's winning
investment.
in the long run.
Oh, look what I found. Look what
Oh
I
my
found
gosh,
here.
what the hell, man?
Truffle? Trouble.
we were like George W. Bush. We were clearing brush, and we turned the brush into wood chips. And we came back a few weeks later, and we had all these ground elder goutweed, anti-goutweed sprouts. We just were digging the chips to use in our brand new garden, and got these
Goatweed.
things. Nice sprouts, very delicate and crunchy. Now, John, in case you were concerned, these are definitely goutweed, not to be confused with Socrates killer, hemlock. But throughout the wood chip, we've got all of these sprouts now. Just have to be patient to dig through them.
All for you, Hippocrates, not your own venom.
And they can get quite long. Look at
Joe, you know what you're doing, right? Like you're not picking up.
that. Well,
Blair
yeah,
Witch
like I was
poetry.
saying, that
I don't want
most
to
of,
read about you like in a newspaper and be
most
like,
of this
uh,
most of this is edible. You do have to be selective, of course.
That which doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Doesn't seem to seem to be any critters, or did your
And
light scare them all away?
no, the wolves
we
scared them
get
all
deer.
away.
Might have, there's actually
Remember what Joe is. Joe is literally in the hills of Norway. There are
not
wolves
hills.
all over the place.
Those are mountains.
Yeah.
1,500 meters.
With the sound
Porridge
of
Peak.
music.
I stand corrected.
And
Timber wolves surround Joe.
And this used to be, there's a old medieval road that went all the way down to the fjord, 7 kilometers. And there's these ancient paddocks, and our neighbor farmer just released the young cows out to the
Oh.
meadow for the first time this evening.
You please post some video during daytime so we can see.
Oh, we'll do.
Yeah, it would be really nice. I loved what all like the Norway and Scandinavian shows, Vikings and what was the one with Stevie Van Zandt on Netflix?
Got
You know,
me. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Alpine.
Lilyhammer. Lilyhammer. That was a great.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
the mob guy.
Yeah. Oh my God, that was such a good show. And because it was just him who was basically American. The entire cast was Norwegian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Lilyhammer.
Look
I
at
highly
that.
recommend all of you, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's great.
Cool.
Oh, one question also while Joe is foraging. Prof. Ant, what do you think, in my opinion, given what we just discussed, I think the Gulf states' opinion are completely irrelevant. Harsh brought up Saudi Arabia. I think all of those Gulf states realize, like, for the first time probably ever, that like the rest of the Southern Hemisphere or the global South, if you will, that like there are certain racist people in America, you can call them Republicans, that basically see the global South as monkeys. They
Yes,
were just very rich, entertaining, but at the end of the day, they
Mhm.
don't matter.
that's
How
true.
how do you feel this is playing out for them?
Well, yeah, I mean it's actually quite conventional. You know, the idea that there's certain parts of the world that, well, I recall one political science course that I took where the professor said, you know, nobody cares about Africa. I mean,
Mm.
the only, you know, it's just unfortunate, but that kind of plays out. I mean, from a colonialist point of view, so an imperialist point of view. So it's the same thing, unfortunately, with the Middle East. Just oil has only made, changed the balance of all these matters.
Well, yeah, because
Although,
now
Business opportunities.
it's like they're tax. So like they heavily bribed. We all know how heavily they bribed Trump's family in the only grossly corrupt first Trump regime, and now in this like complete loot the treasury griftopia Trump regime.
mm,
You saw how much money they just poured into his family,
oh,
and himself,
Billions.
literally to himself. And it is meaningless. They literally see them as monkeys. And I think they're finally feeling that sort of like, that hesitation we have when we deal with like conservatives, as leftists, and
mm,
that moment of doubt, if you're like of any ethnicity, if you're talking to someone who has spoken fundamentally like racist words before, you have reserve before you
mm,
talk to them. They never had that because they always felt that they
yes,
had bought their way out of it and they were too important.
yes,
However,
yep,
we actually, Trump owes Obama for this. Obama turned um, America into the on par with the entire Gulf Middle East, equal to exporting oil and petroleum products.
yes.
So right now, America, in Trump's eyes, is profiting vastly because the petroleum companies
Oh.
are just
Excuse me.
posting record profits.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and that cycle of money that is flowing into his family from the oil companies, and the government. Like, I mean, Eric Trump just got some BS company created, got a
Oh,
$26 billion contract from the
oh,
government.
For
Um,
the drones.
it's
yeah,
just naked corruption. I mean,
just
it is, it's well, it's sort of
Well,
interesting. I
that's the
mean,
point. If the point is to, it's completely naked and out in the open, and America's just getting, I mean, inured to it.
I think
See,
it's holding up a mirror. Honestly, like I've been thinking a lot about this, and I think the reason normies are waking up and you're seeing like support, whether they are able to articulate it or not, from like libs, like people we effing hate because they've like voted against Bernie. You know what I mean? Like they are coming around to like the Zoran side, I would call it, because like they're beginning to understand that the end result of everything that they believed in, the lies that they believed in, ascribing to a vibe because you like a politician as opposed to holding your love for them based on the policies that they promised you that they achieved, right?
yeah.
And it's traumatic. It's traumatic for a lot of people, but I do feel like it's gonna get gross. Like America, you have not seen the end of depravity. Just wait. This guy has 3 more years.
Yeah.
Oh,
Stuff
well,
like
Okay.
Lord.
the depravity is
Speak.
going to get worse in the next couple of months because, uh, you know, uh, uh, Thomas Massey may actually reveal, who's on, who got redacted in the Epstein files. And there's just much more openness about talking about raping children.
I can't
That's sort of
believe
in the
like we have to
background.
feel bad for like a total piece of shit like Thomas Massey just because he was right about one thing, right? Like,
Oh,
of
well,
course you
yes.
need to do the Epstein files.
Speaking
They're
about being out in the open, look at all this weed surrounded by. Quick glance, you might imagine I'm stuck in a marijuana field.
Yeah.
did
This
you just
is
say marijuana?
this is
Cannabis
our lovely
sativa.
fireweed.
I'm
This is,
gonna. I
they're
have.
gonna this
I have.
whole they're all up the hill here and all over surrounding me, and they'll turn into a bright pink burst of flowers. Not too soon, not too far away, but we want to try to get the younger ones. Just snap them off. You can tell they're a bit purple at the bottom. They have a kind of lance type leaf,
Mm.
smooth on the top side. They're beautiful. And then they're quite fibrous down towards the bottom, and we just kind of snap them like you snap asparagus. Find where it uh, naturally breaks, and then you can eat the rest of that.
Nice. A
Cool.
tisket.
Oh,
a
and again,
tasket.
not to be confused with hemlock. That's an easy one, right? We can tell the difference there.
I hope you're not confusing them, Joe.
Indeed.
Right, Prof. John?
The guy is nuts.
This is complete. It's like 1:30 in the morning there. Surrounded by timber wolves and our dear sweet Joe in Norway
Oh, there's some
is
wildlife.
picking up random plants.
There's some
Picking
wildlife
weeds
for
to
you.
eat.
These fellers are all over the place.
God, the black slugs.
Ugh.
Good grief. Look at that. That's a
Oh.
monster.
And John, I'm working on my diabetes prevention. As I mentioned, I switched from making so many cakes, and I've started, instead of cakes, we're starting on pumpkin pie.
Oh, nice.
All right.
Pumpkin is good.
Have to
Pumpkins.
protect these from the critters.
Critters.
Got the five of these going on.
Nice. Nice.
All right, now we can get to cooking.
All righty. Well, there's still stuff to talk about, certainly.
Oh, there's
imagine.
tons of stuff stuff this week. They're trying to suppress like free speech by going after. I mean, the media is there's no official, but Fox News announced that they're issued a subpoena for Medea Benjamin and Hassan Piker for going their trip to Cuba,
There we
which
go.
is trying to like I don't know, like it seems like they're positioning themselves. That subpoena isn't official, but they have indeed started ramping up domestic surveillance of anything they can consider subversive. It's truly like Red Scare era,
Mm.
like surveillance of anything that is even like a remotely, not even like anti-capitalist, but like anti-corruption.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's all corruption. I mean, in the sense that, there are no guardrails. I mean, we barely have guardrails relative to the Trump judges. So that's another thing. It's
And
unclear. It's just unclear what's going to go on in Cuba, and I don't think that they're, on the one hand, I pitched online the idea that, well, maybe they're going to do a reality TV thing that reboots Miami Vice. So it'll be this combination thing where they'll bomb fast boats, and because the video that they're doing where they're up to what, almost 200 now.
oh my God, you were
fishermen.
so right. This is Miami Vice, but it's the same people who used to dress up like Don Johnson in the
Yes,
80s, but now they're like 80 years old.
that's right. That's
Oh
right.
God, you're so right. That's the world we're stuck in. And
I mean,
and all
you
their
know,
children are coked out. Yeah.
And we'll see it on Amazon or something.
Does that mean white linen jackets will come back into fashion?
Yes, people will, I mean, we have
I would
alternative
love to be
stubble.
Trump.
We have an entire generation with stubble now for the last decade. It's I mean, the stubble was there because of, Miami Vibe. Anyway, yes.
So yeah, there's a lot of freezing of I think what they're basically trying to do in going after like especially like someone as prominent as Hassan is essentially just freeze speech. Like so that people just like who would normally speak out won't, you
Yes.
know? And
Yeah, yeah,
I
there's a
don't
legitimation element to it, I think. And they're still interviewing their people in Cuba are being interviewed, so there's a lot wider sort of discussion, on the ground of why that's happening. And it's they're going to have to seize power because at some moment everybody who owns land under Batista is going to want their land back. And so there's an entire legal apparatus that has to be enforced, and it'll be, it can't be. I mean, it's just even more weird than Venezuela. It's just like, the chaos that Venezuela has is going to be multiplied perhaps in the Cuban context.
and
But
in sorry, please go on.
no, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, also in the imperial core, something that has been being completely overlooked by the mainstream media is the fact that the Fed is now in the hands of a Trump crony.
Oh,
And
God.
he is recently pushing to allow crypto to be incorporated into like the monetary flow of the world.
Oh,
Therefore,
yes.
crypto can use all channels.
Yes.
Does that
I
mean we'll
mean,
be able to track the funds better?
well,
Well, you
there's a
already
side to
can.
this. There's a side to it where it can be enforced. It can be regulated, but they haven't decided to do that yet. But there is this I mean, there is a whole sub economy relative to laundering money. I mean, that's why Trump wants a $250 bill, right? I mean, you want big bills because that's how you're going to run your money laundering operations.
Absolutely, absolutely, and also like this has the potential. It depending on how linked it becomes with the actual flow of money. Crypto crashes will now affect international
Oh,
currency.
Mm.
That means we are like literally these people are so
Mm.
stupid and greedy, thinking that like they'll cash out um before they're literally burning down the system, and this could end up being worse, like the worst thing that Trump ever did among this
yes.
litany of other things, because it has the potential to like cause a depression, like a global depression.
Yes, a global, yes. I mean,
And
it,
Look at
it
these,
really has that possibility.
look at these beauties.
Nice.
Just strip the leaves off the opposite way they bloom, and then you've got these kind of baby asparagus size stalks. And you can cut them to whatever length you want or grill them. You kind of leave these on there because when they get toasted with the stir fry, they're quite tasty as well. And they're the newest baby greens.
they look great, Joe. And yeah, I know I make fun of you, but like,
Fireweed.
I really appreciate you doing all this for me. But
Oh,
That's
also,
and
but also
you got
like to save face, I'm also the reason why you always ask about like how pretty your mise en place is. Because how good I make you feel when I say it. Love you, man.
it's the ultimate farm to table sort of activity. I
oh
really
yes.
like the fact that we have this, this sort of, it seems rustic. On the other hand, he has a blowtorch, a walk
Plus, like
thing.
Prof. John is always like brought us like he brought Star Trek to the left, I like to say. And we're
Damn
never
right.
shocked by whatever bizarre alien Norwegian weed like or animal or creature or mollusk we're subjected to because we are prepared. We have Star Trek.
Hell yeah.
Indeed. Indeed. I mean, we're in a really weird place because I discovered only a couple of days ago, and I probably should have known more about it, but apparently there's a cockroach party in India, and it's there because the youth is alienated, and there's a whole undercurrent thing that's caused it, and of course it's built on social media, so it has this whole other thing that actually overlaps with crypto. It has a blockchain thing that's part of it. Our friend Harsh here, I don't know if he knows much about this. It's only in one state presently, but it has a sort of a weird presence. What is it? The Cockroach Yafta Party or something? Anyway,
The Cockroach Janta Party.
Junta, you're right. That's right.
It's like just like you have BJP, so Bharatiya Janata Party, it's similar to that. So the way it was formed, so just a quick update, was the Chief Justice of India, basically. So one of the interesting thing is that the Supreme Court hearing is actually televised or at least streamed.
Wow.
So
Nice.
the Chief Justice of India, I forgot his name, he actually said the young people are unemployed. They're basically like cockroaches. They become leftists. They become leftists or activists. That's what he said. So one of the guys actually, I'm still not sold on this CJP though, but one of the guys, he was like an earlier political party worker actually, who was in Boston now. So,
What state, Harsh, does it come from?
so he's from Delhi. So he was Aam Aadmi Party's worker actually.
Oh, okay. So he's in the center of Indian politics, basically, like in the capital. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But he's in Boston these days. I think he was studying actually. So he's an avid Twitter user. He just tweeted that what if all the cockroaches come together, and that's how this thing was formed.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's an interesting phenomena because they got a whole bunch of people, millions of people engaged online with this thing.
What is the goal of the party though? Like,
so that's the thing, right? This was sort of like a satire, a joke, and
Yeah.
suddenly everybody basically sort of piled up on them, sort of presented them as the legitimate party, though they are not a party yet. But a lot of the like dissociated youth and everybody are basically I would say trying to elevate them. And yeah, so that's what's happening actually. And because it seems like since nobody listens to anyone, right? So nobody gives any attention to opposition, but suddenly these guys are being covered by everybody, like including like French, BBC, all the news channels as well.
Yes.
So because of that, what has happened? The government has shut down their sites. They've shut down their Twitter account. They've shut down everything.
Okay.
So only thing
that's
open,
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
They're just
the government was trying to suppress that. Yeah, absolutely.
Right. So they're worried about it becoming like a Tommy Robinson type UK thing where it's like it's completely created by online media and then becoming real, or is it actually like tangible now?
So it's not tangible right now still, but yeah, government is sort of I would not say scared, but they're trying to make sure that there is no opposition to them, that there is no voice. Because one of the things, right, that they are sort of showcasing now is they're sort of bringing up all the issues that is happening in India, which is the big deal. Like nobody knows what's happening in India because the news doesn't cover it and there's so much government censorship.
Yeah,
Right.
Indian news is crazy, man. Every time I'm in Delhi, you guys think Fox News is bad? You should watch Indian news.
Oh, come on. I like Indian media. When Indian media attacks Pakistani media, that's fun stuff.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God.
truly, it's just amazing media warfare. Well, it's like there are two Fox Newses, trying to kill each other. It's really quite well, to me it is. It's just
There's also like an insane like popular Harsh, you can speak to this too. There's like this insane like popular culture warfare because there's like Pakistan and India are in a blood feud. That's what it is, right? It's never I can't see it getting better. There's too much like partition, there's too many wounds, right?
oh,
Um
absolutely.
and so Harsh, have you seen oh God, what is the movie called? Damn it.
The new one, the render thing.
Dhurandhar, yes. So
Yeah,
there are two movies, Dhurandhar and then Dhurandhar 2. So you guys may have noticed that like India had a very, very mild response to the terrorist attacks that happened during the War on Terror era, particularly was it 9/7 when that attack in Bombay on the Oberoi Hotel, where like terrorists came in and killed like 270 people, and India apparently like did nothing. So in a feat of like I don't know genius that I have to give him credit. The Modi government declassified the files to explain what happened during that time period. This also coincided with an unexplained sudden revocation, like uh, annulling the 500 rupee and 1,000 rupee notes. Now, in India, a large portion of the population does not keep their money in banks. And for the rich people in India, believe me, like half their fortunes are just like locked and safe. They're just piles of money. I know. Trust me, I know. I'm related to a lot of them.
We were
Uh,
supposed to travel to Kerala just as the money crisis happened.
Oh my
We ended
God.
up going to Sri Lanka instead. Dodged a bullet on the chaos there.
It was insane. And the thing is, the reason, and it was never explained, and no one knew why. And those files were released just as the Dhurandhar 1 came out. And that's the story of how India got its revenge and why all this happened. And they basically showed that the revenge, no spoilers, but the revenge was basically to create what is happening in Pakistan right now. They infiltrated Pakistan and started the Baluch rebellion. Basically created a civil war within Pakistan.
right.
Um, it,
Well,
it's propaganda, but it's really well done, and it explains a lot. It's very cool.
Oh, just a food interruption.
Harsh, you agree?
Oh,
I don't watch that crap.
Dude, how am I? Come on, man. You
I
gotta.
don't.
You
I
have
can't
to watch
handle
this.
it because
well, they have
I
their
think
own version of Godwin's law, right? The Godwin's law on the internet is eventually all arguments devolve into Nazis. There's this moment where it's Nazis. In the Pakistani Indian sense, it's nuclear weapons, or at least as far as I can tell. There's this moment in discourse where nuclear weapons comes up. It's just amazing to me that when people get mad at each other and then they start talking about nuclear weapons. But anyway,
I don't. Pakistan and India will never nuke each other.
yeah,
You
Oh, no,
wanna know,
no.
you want to know why? Because the rich people want to live, and the rich people rule both countries.
and
That's
the
what it is. Like,
sounds like somebody needs a poultice over there.
indeed.
Larry, you might have been thinking I was making a poultice for your penis, but you'd be mistaken. What we're doing here, you take the
Really?
leaves.
I don't know. I'm with Larry. That kind of looks like a penis poultice to me.
If you after you strip the more mature leaves off, you can rub them together after you clean them. So you want to break down the cell walls. Shove these in a jar and let it ferment for about 3 days, depending on how warm it is. Stir it around so it doesn't get mold. If you see any mold, get the mold out. So you ferment it for 4 days, and then stick it in a dehydrator or in your oven. You just the lowest temperature on your oven, dry it out, and you've got the kind of black tea-ish, kind of fruity black tea flavored tea. That's good for your
Nice.
penis, prostate, and digestion, and what was the other thing? Respiratory issues. We'll
I love this
save that for
herbalism,
later.
thing
I miss Nancy
that
so
comes up.
much, man. Oh,
Oh God, I
you
miss Nancy too.
Well done,
So,
Joe.
let's commence the
well,
cooking.
thank you, Joe. Oh,
Yeah.
mise en place.
Oh, so we've got our what do you call them? Our
Death beans.
aromatics and our fermentation, our butt squash, chahote. I can't remember the Indonesian word. Our fireweed. What are those? Losing my English, man. Short pieces of fireweed stalks and our bean sprouts. So we're
I'm
gonna.
glad you came through because like my Norwegian is way worse and I have no idea.
I mean, that's the thing that's kind of frustrating. I'm not getting enough Norwegian as I'm losing my English. So I'm in this no man's land of non-verbalness.
Brother, you're so eloquent. Yo, so you're gonna turn this, trust me, it's coming from me. You can believe me. You're gonna turn this into a stir fry now.
Yeah, so we're gonna fry the aromatics with the bean sauce, fermented bean sauce, and then the chahote next, followed by these, and last the leaves and sprouts, and squeeze a lemon. Maybe you might, since there's a lot of salt, you might want to put a little bit of palm sugar, or I don't have any palm sugar left. I got some other sugar.
Nice.
Yep.
Very
fire
nice.
it up.
Awesome.
Excellent.
And
You
we
keep that camera away from the flame. They're gonna
maybe
scorch
that's maybe a little
scorch your
too close.
equipment.
And hey, Joe, like if
That
you
a
don't
good
have
angle?
the water, you might want to get it out.
There it is.
All right.
What's a good angle here? Is that a good angle? You got the food. There we go.
I like this sort of helmet camera thing with the walk. You know, it makes it appear like it's augmented reality or VR stuff. You know, like we're looking at the in the goggles at this thing.
Totally.
Anyway, yeah. I mean, so yes, with respect to India, I mean, I have no clue about how it seems so incredibly complicated. And I mean, it just takes it to a whole different level. But it's not that dissimilar to the West Asia's issues. And as I say, we're probably on Monday, we're going to get Trump yakking about the ceasefire. But they're going to try and do it to leverage the market, the financial markets,
It's
and
like,
oil markets.
like they already like they did that this week. You know, they were talking ceasefire and then they struck Iran, saying that was like defensive measures, and
Yes,
literally did nothing because like their missile caverns are like dug into mountains, and bunker busters can't do anything.
no,
And because like I'm a brain poison political nerd and I consume all this stuff, as are we all, I think, as are we all. We've learned that like they're underneath the tunnels, the Iranians have prepared for this. So they have like they can, open the door, let the rubble fall in, and they have like bulldozers or whatever you call them, like equipment to remove the rocks and open the clearings from within. So it's kind of ridiculous to assume that like any of this is going to work and that it's just anything but like manipulation because the sheer amount of money that is being traded when he makes these announcements before he makes these announcements, just to say, is unprecedented in history at like any other time.
Hmm. Well, the
just one
commodities.
thing. This is what
Go ahead.
everybody's talking about, the walk high, where you're tossing,
Look at that.
when you toss, oh, you're basically getting the Asian version of barbecue with in the wok. So the moisture from the vegetables or whatever's cooking in here will hit the high heat, and they change the molecules. You get the sort of well, they call it wok high, kind
Yeah.
of smokiness.
Mm.
Got a better description? I
Yeah,
don't know
and
the
and it
word
gets
doesn't
and it get walk high gets more intense the longer you keep the
Mm.
walk because the
Mm.
metal gets more and more tempered
The
each
carbon.
time and it
Yeah.
kind of like absorbs the flavor of every single
Mhm.
time you
Mm.
cook. Very cool.
Yes. Nice.
Yeah,
Yeah, so the fireweed takes about 2 minutes, kind of like baby broccoli.
Joe, let me ask you a question. What is going
Mhm.
on? Like, what is the like Norwegian opinion of what is happening in the world right now?
Oh, good. Ask me when I'm finished cooking. I,
Good point. Good
I
point.
can do
Because
something
that
that.
flame is making me nervous, given the fact you don't have any running water right next to you.
Oh God. Well, as you said before, I think we're moving towards a recession. We're in stagflation at the present moment.
Mhm.
I would assert that we are. It depends how you want to measure it, but
No, I totally
we're
agree.
we're in this funny period, and it's going to get worse before it gets better. And the problem is, of course, summer is here technically, and you're going to get people who are not paying attention. That's where the real problems are going to start
Oh,
coming.
goodness. Almost forgot. Lordy. White sugar, white powder of umami. Another secret.
MSG, yeah.
Honestly,
Look away, James. Look away, James. See.
I read something fascinating not so long ago that the whole campaign in the 90s that was anti-MSG that was happening on American talk shows like
Yes.
Oprah and Sally Jesse and all those shows was literally paid for and sponsored by the American like a restaurant association because they wanted to put the independent Chinese restaurants out of business because they were
Yep.
eating into their profits. It's pretty
It,
crazy.
it it's still numbers. I mean, there I recall there are more Chinese restaurants than anything else out there. I mean,
Vastly, yeah.
it's fascinating at that kind of one level of trying to screw with fast Asian food. On the other hand, we're getting more diverse foods, and people are really kind of getting with a whole range of Indo-Pacific cuisine. And I find that really useful. But on the other hand, the other weird market is pizza. I looked at pizza parlors for a while, and it's really much more complicated than just thinking about the big companies. It's actually much more diversified in the total market. I mean, you can talk about Domino's or Pizza Hut or whatever, or Papa John's or whatever, but the reality is there's a billion little, pizza. The market is much more diversified. It's much more pluralistic or democratized in that sense.
For sure.
So
They called it the Chinese restaurant syndrome.
yes,
And it largely had to do, there may be the conspiracy there, but also a bunch of white folk were going down to Chinatown in Manhattan and eating some some foods that they had never tasted in their entire life. Chilies, Sichuan
Yep.
peppercorns, all kinds of different textures and flavors, and they would come home and their cheeks would be flush and it's almost like some
I
kind
mean, just like all of us, think about how different our palate, how vastly our
some of the
palate has
color.
expanded in our lifetimes since we were kids.
Oh yeah,
That looks
definitely.
great, Joe. Really,
Yum.
truly.
Yum. Now I'm hungry again, damn it.
No.
Where are we now on time? We're almost to our talking about the schedule. It's
Ukraine.
it is
Did you cover?
You guys didn't
oh
mention
you
you
Go
didn't
ahead.
mention aliens.gov.
Oh Jesus.
Oh,
Oh, okay,
The-
yo. I can riff on this for days. Let's go.
explicit
What
racism
exact? Be
of
specific.
the
What
UFO
chart?
site. It's just they're just trolling the populace. They have an official UFO site that refers to aliens as extraterrestrial, but they're really referring to everybody who's person of color or immigrants. It all has this other
as a resident alien.
Well, it uses. I haven't been there. I've only heard about it because I hear it's also not safe. When you go there, it uses the X-Files theme music or something like it, and it's all very much green text. You think it's about we're going to reveal, and nope, it's all about they walk among us.
Yeah,
that's right. People of color.
It's the most racist thing ever.
It's
a government website
deal, and it's a government website, which is even more insane. But it just shows, the Doge idiots are, in control of various elements of the propaganda machine. And it's just sad and stupid. And, but they're defecting. Let's put it that way. What is it? It's 50% or something of young people, largely white males, have defected from MAGA. So,
but they haven't
rolling movement.
They haven't defected to us. Don't be mistaken.
No,
they've defected to Tucker Carlson.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
So, just be wary of that, and be wary of the narratives that are spun, because right now everyone has lost their minds in mainstream media. Apparently, they've accepted that there isn't a political spectrum. They've accepted the right-wing fascist narrative that it's a political horseshoe. Okay.
Yes.
And that isn't true. That's not a fact. And the reason that you're seeing so many people, or people we thought were like leftists, or not even, they might be leftists, but we thought they knew what they were talking about, are making common cause with Tucker Carlson. Whereas before it was like only like morons like Jimmy Dore, you know what I mean? Like who fundamentally had no class analysis, because the horseshoe is based on this. This is all it is.
Right.
The people on either side of the spectrum can identify the exact same problems. We can all say it's corrupt as hell. There's everything is too expensive. Housing, everything, it's impossible to live anymore. Where class comes in is in the solutions to the problems.
Right. Because, you've got Peter Thiel, who today, or there's a Times article that said, he's going to flee whatever his other holdings and move to Argentina.
Oh, so, please go, leave.
Yeah, go ahead.
But by all means.
That's what the answer should always be. Why don't any journalists have any balls? The answer should always be, go, please leave. Like,
are you telling me that when Tucker Carlson says Jeremy Corbyn is the most persecuted politician in British history, he's being disingenuous?
See, that's how I saw that too, Lane. I was watching that today when I was working out. What Lane is referring to, this is Tucker's tactics, right? He brought on a legit British doctor who has been working in the West Bank and Gaza teaching. He's from Oxford. He teaches like Palestinians how to be surgeons, like Palestinian in med school, how to be surgeons. And he was operating in Gaza. What was it, Lane? Like 6 times over the course of the genocide. And he was explaining to Tucker, you know, all this, like the horror of it. And Tucker was using it in an extraordinarily anti-Semite way, while framing it as feigning like true sadness and unity at the death of Palestinians. It's very, very like insidious what he's doing.
Very
But
coded.
sorry?
I mean, is it very coded language, or it's
Not for
overt?
I think any one of us could see what he's doing.
Oh, yeah, but
But he
the
is
fact
compelling.
is the larger, frame of it is really problematic. I mean, today, what is it? They announced that IDF is going to take 70% of Gaza, which at the same time where the Board of Peace is claiming that it's broke, is all kinds of other crazy crap is going on, and
Right.
it's not being well analyzed. I mean, the fact that the people that Trump got together for the Board of Peace have stiffed the Board of Peace. So in terms of their billion-dollar contribution to the Board of Peace.
Every single one of those people is a crook. Like they all
Absolutely.
stole that $1 billion. So
Absolutely.
they don't, like, you know what I mean? Like,
Oh, yeah.
it's okay. If you got to give the head criminal his due. And I think that's all it was. Because if you like look at it, it's like some of the worst dictators in the world.
Yeah.
It's insane.
God.
Joe, that looks beautiful.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I'm hungry.
Mm.
Well, we should start talking about the schedule. So
just one last thing. Don't get your hopes up for Texas flipping. Because that is going to be all you're going to hear from now on. I don't have faith in the demographics are changing, but not this time. I just don't see it happening.
No. Well, it could be close, but the fact that Paxton came out,
well, now
gonna bleed soy is, I mean, they even gave Stephen Miller time on Fox. He did a whole routine about Tallarico, and it's insane. I mean, really insane.
Yeah.
Secret gay.
Yeah, who's more ugly, guys? What do you guys think? We should do a poll. Stephen Miller or Ken Paxton? Because Ken Paxton kind of looks like his face is melted. Like one side. He's like Snoke. I don't ever mention the Disney Star Wars movies, but he's like Snoke. And Stephen Miller, well, his wife took great offense to the fact that the Democrats called him an ugly fuck.
Yes, an ugly fuck.
He's
to his wife. Anyway,
yeah.
Well, there's a whole story there. We could
go. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Go scheduling.
But it was funny, and it is going to be weirdly tragic at some moment. So earlier today, we were listening to Steve, playing some Sonny Rollins, who were rest in peace, rest in power. That happened before when we started our little show here, and subsequently, tonight is the premiere of Alfred Hitchcock Presents. John, do you want to talk a little bit about it?
Yes, I do.
That's that sweet, sweet voice, Professor John.
Oh, thank you very much.
Are there witches, warlocks, vampires, werewolves, or other cryptids in this evening?
None of the above.
Oh my!
Praise the
Oh
Lord!
my.
Praise the Lord!
No, it is
Oh God, there isn't. I'm out.
it's a pretty realistic series, I'd say. Yeah, so the premiere episode of Alfred Hitchcock Presents is called Revenge. When Carl Span's wife Elsa is assaulted by an unknown attacker, he drives his still incoherent wife around town, hoping she can point him out so he can kill him.
Yee.
It stars Ralph Meeker, Vera Miles, Frances Bavier, who you may know as Aunt B, Ray Montgomery, and Ray Teal. And I'll say it is a good one. It is directed by Alfred Hitchcock himself.
Wow.
There were 18 of the 268 episodes of Alfred Hitchcock Presents that were directed by Hitchcock. And this is one.
Only 18.
Only 18.
The big question is, John, will he appear in this episode in the production itself rather than do the front end, introduction?
Oh, I never looked for him in these episodes other than in the intro and the outro.
I mean, I'm sure there's a web page
Easter egg.
that, counts them all, but
Yeah.
Prof. John, just quick question. You said he only directed 18 out of how many?
268.
Oh, wow. So it's truly rare.
Yes. Yeah.
Nice.
He produced the show, but
all right, I forgive you for not having any aliens or Bigfoot.
All righty then. After that, at 10-ish, so another episode of Silicon Valley. Travis is going to get, I don't know if Travis wants to mention how far we've gotten. If you've seen the series before, it's a Mike Judge thing. The guy gives us office space and other things. And it is good preparation if you're interested in venture capital, etc., or tech bros, because it's still pretty fresh. A lot of the same stupidity goes on. Like today, people were complaining about whether developers, that is software developers, should be called builders. Much like Trump claims that he's a builder, but I don't think he's ever used a hammer for anything. But anyway.
Yeah, spoiler alert, they shouldn't. And also, if you want to know how dumb these people are, consider the last week. When you saw these tech CEOs go give commencement speeches announcing the glories of AI, and they all got booed. It was like they had no concept. These people have no self-awareness. They don't know what they're doing.
Apparently, Ronnie Chang from The Daily Show opened his, he gave a speech at the Harvard commencement, or a Harvard commencement, and his first words were, F AI, that's what you should be doing.
Good for him.
So, anyway,
he's great. He's great.
So that's where we are with that. Anyway, we digress. New Statesman at 5:00 on Saturday. I think there's a flick at 7 p.m. and I can't remember what it is, as usual. Scroll up there. Scroll up there, Joe. We don't know.
No, it's not there. It's not there because I don't know if anybody's discussed having a film.
Oh, well.
Or I've been
we'll have
notified.
Something there. I mean, many of us have little films we'd love to show in our back pocket. So something will be there probably. Sunday at 5:00 is Star Trek Next Generation. And this is an amusing episode because of what? Wesley Crusher, right, John?
Yes. This is going to make a lot of people weep.
Oh no.
Wesley Crusher is accompanying Captain Picard on one last mission before he leaves for Starfleet Academy. So Wesley Crusher will no longer be seen in Star Trek The Next Generation, except in a few episodes where he returned. And it just makes me very sad. I'm sure Harsh and James Caraway are going to be broken by this news.
John, why does Harsh get a present and I don't?
Yeah, me too. What up, John?
When is Riker
Like,
getting
I
shipped
didn't
off?
say anything in the description.
Yeah, no spoilers about this one, but it's a pretty compelling episode. Let me just say that.
Yeah.
I think it will rivet your attention or whatever. It has a yes, you'll get into it. So after that, as the Sundays. Well,
yep, there we go.
Lane, do you want to talk about what's coming up on Sunday?
We are watching some more episodes of Porridge, starring Ronnie Barker as Norman Stanley Fletcher, the multiple recidivist and what's the word I'm looking for? Counter hero of the prison world.
The pre-wired wire or whatever. Yeah, indeed. So that's after Star Trek. Monday is Malcolm Harris on Palo Alto we're reading through his book on Palo Alto, which for me anyway, having grown up during the period and in the location, it's always interesting to see certain elements filled in, although historically speaking, there are certain parallel elements that I don't think Harris deals with in terms of his timelines, but that's just me.
Wait, no way. You're from Palo Alto?
No, I grew up in the Bay Area. Actually, I grew up in San Francisco. But anyway.
Me too. Walnut Creek and
cool.
Danville.
Yeah. Nice over the mountains, over the ridge.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes. And after that, it's the funny hour on Mondays on I don't know if Bruce is here. Do you want to talk about the Red Hour? Malcolm Harris is at 8 p.m. With Nate. I don't know if Bruce.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, can you tell us what we're going to read?
Yeah. So
Red Hour?
before I move on, I want to call back to last Tuesday night's Red Hour, where we read The Sentinel, which was the basis for 2001, and we got into a discussion about how difficult space travel is, and we had a good lesson yesterday about Amazon's rocket that was intended to set up a moon colony.
Oh yes.
So that's set back space travel a little bit. But this Tuesday, I guess they're not delivering packages everywhere yet. So this Tuesday, it's going to be a bit of a little more gruesome tale by Stephen King called Strawberry Spring.
So, interesting. That should be fun.
That'll be fun.
That's at 7 Eastern time.
7 Eastern. That hour is 6 p.m.
6 Central.
Yes, 6 Central. So this festival is at 6. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. It is. A Wednesday, I may continue yakking about quantum economics, but we'll see. So that's at 6 o'clock on Wednesday. On Thursday, we have Bring the News at 7, and then we're back at Friday, and we will do more crazy crap. Arjun, do you want to plug anything?
Sure.
History-wise?
I have a new episode I posted in podcast notes there. It was just an episode my producer did for me. I've had to do a couple of rewrites of this new episode, given the fact that like some certain high-level BBC level historians always look at my stuff so I have to be
Ooh.
perfect. So I had to do rewrites.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Indeed.
my producer put out an episode. It's very touching. It's very nice about like how he produces my show. So definitely check that out.
Cool. Very
Cool.
cool.
Nice.
All right, deep into history. On Sunday, I attend the Daily Kos anti-capitalist meetup, and it's my turn this month, and I am going to talk yak. Well, I'm not yakking. I've written a thing. I hope it's not sufficiently dumbed down, but it is about quantum, the possibility of a quantum political economy, which. It is very, very edgy. And so there's stuff there. Anyway,
That
that's me
sounds
on Sunday at 6
fascinating.
o'clock. Well,
Like,
it has lots of possibilities. Well, anyway.
Prof. Ann, trust me,
digress.
put it in like opposition to the current AI economy, and you will have them
yes.
eating out of the palm of your hand.
Oh, yeah, the second paragraph is about the Pope. So yeah.
Love it. Awesome.
It's,
you're gonna do great.
It's Rick and Morty, sort of Pope. Anyway.
Love it.
Yes.
Love it.
So we're rolling right along, and we've got to stop now. We'll try and do better next week.
Oh, hold on. I'll just review the weed
Yeah,
eating we've been doing.
All right.
Weed tending. So the dish was wild fireweed just from out back, with wild sprouts of ground elder, or anti-gout weed as I call it, and chahote in a Indonesian fermented soybean sauce called tauco. And we had some lemongrass in there, garlic, a couple chilies, and ginger. And then we left the very tips of the fireweed, because these are delicate enough to eat nowadays. And we stripped the rest of the stalk, and mushed the leaves with our hand after we washed them. And we're gonna stick them in a jar for 4 days to ferment, and then toss them in the oven to dry out. And then we've got a tea, great for your nether regions, your lungs, and your, what was the other thing? Respiratory.
From now on, I shall think of it as groin tea.
Groin tea.
It's beautifully presented, Joe. Mise en place to now all extraordinary.
All right, we're going to try to do better next week. Thanks, everyone.
Take it easy. Ciao.
Love you guys.
All right, preparing to stop the live stream. Live stream